What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of building my MVP bag, otherwise known as MVP. Maybe if you like it, let me know. This bag right now is filled with a bunch of new MVP drivers. This episode is a little bit more for me than it might be for you, but I hope you enjoy it. I have no clue what my MVP drivers are doing right now. We're out at a wide open park course, basically field work with baskets, and we're gonna hopefully figure out our MVP driver lineup. We got a bunch of new ones. I took your suggestions.
There's 3 keys to disc golf: driving, approaching, and putting. You need all 3 to do this disc sport.
The control driver slot. We got a RAF that might take the Tesla spot. As you know, I lost my Tesla, but we do have a brand new Tesla. We also have the resistor that's maybe not in the same category, but it's another, control fairway driver. Brand new. This was a favorite of mine and I lost one that was kind of beat up. And then we got the remix discs Ronin. Guys, let me know down below, is this allowed? We're gonna go resistor first, which I already know it's gonna be making the bag once again, but this one is brand new. Yeah, that's definitely a beefier one, which I'm sad about because the one I had was a little beat up and it was kind of money to say the least. Plasma Tesla, nice and flat. Ooh. Very consistent. The one I lost, the patent pending Neutron, I think, I just wasn't trusting it anymore. I wish I went to lost it because it's a patent pending Tesla, but I'm kind of glad I have to move on and just learn a nice new stock one that I can probably trust more. We got the RAF and the Ronin, so we'll see how these fly. I feel like this RAF is gonna be flippier. Yeah, that's got some good drift to it, but still holds up. Which, that means there might be a big enough gap to maybe have them both. Ooh. Yeah, that's really good. And the thing with the Ronin, it feels nicer on the backhand grip than the Tesla. So honestly, I could see myself trusting the Ronin a little bit more for just my controlled backhand, kind of PD Thunderbird type shots. If you watch my channel before this series, you'd know I made a video on the trail maybe a month and a half ago, and I loved it. But it really overlapped with the finish line era that I currently bag. I have a whole lineup, 2 or 3 are usually in the bag, and it was just too close for me to put this disc in the bag. I know it's amazing, and I got tons of comments saying I needed to pick one up, so I went and picked up a new one, and we're gonna be testing her out today. And we got a trace. A Domi trace, which is kind of hard to come by. I knew when I started this challenge that finding distance drivers was going to be the trickiest thing. I love the DD1, the Wraith 11 speed. They come out of my hand the best. They go just as far as everything else, it seems to be. So to be honest, after today, there's a chance the trace, maybe the trail, even just being a 10 speed, knocks out some of the higher speed drivers just simply because of hand feel and controllability. Now this hole is absolute money for some of these shots. 350, just wide open, dead straight. I'm gonna try and put these on more of a hyzer. Super nice flight. Tesla. The RAF should push up a little more. There is water a little deep, but I don't think I'll have to worry about it. The RAF I'm enjoying. The 2 flights I've had, it pushes up a little more glide, but then it still has a consistent finish. And then the Ronin. Man, super nice as well. Thank you, man, appreciate it. The trail, gonna try and hit it on the same shot, push it a little further. Hopefully I don't go deep. Okay, oh gosh. You'll clearly be able to see on that throw I yanked it over. At the last second, I just got nervous because I knew if I full flighted it, it would probably go deep into the water. The last time I threw the trail, I was at about 3,500 feet of elevation. Now we're pretty much sea level, if I remember right. It's gonna fly a little bit different. So we're gonna have to get used to it not quite handling a full smack. But I guess that's where the trace comes in. It's always been one of my favorite feeling, like MVP Axiom Streamline discs, but finding them in a domey run, tricky. Yeah, but please get down. I'm not looking for necessarily overstability out of that trace. I'm looking for that beat up Wraith, beat up DD1, you know, even beat up Destroyer flight. I know it's an 11 speed, but the trace, I think, just based on feel, because I kind of think the feel of the disc is more important. You can learn how a disc flies as long as it feels good in the hand. And the trace is one of those discs. It feels amazing in the hand. I need to find a distance driver that I can rely on. I honestly think throwing MVP drivers, I'm not gonna quite have the distance I would usually have. I just don't think they're capable of doing what Innova drivers do. So we're pretty much just raising in speed. You know, we started with some slower stuff. We got the mid speed. We'll get up to some more high speed stuff. Got another octane, an energy. Gonna smack a couple backhands. And then we're gonna dial in some side hands. A couple more shots with the trail and the trace here. Yeah, see, that is so much flippier than throwing this disc at elevation, which obviously, but it's like a completely new disc. At elevation, the trail is like pretty overstable. Like you can hit it, I could hit it as hard as I wanted, and it was gonna drift a little, but it was never gonna burn over. So these are mainly sidearm discs. We got a flat octane, which feels really nice. We'll see. We got an energy. Honestly, I know this thing is crazy beefy, 13404, but I did not have a disc that I knew I could just chop the shit out of and be confident with. And I just feel like with these MVP drivers, I need that. The Defy and the Photon, which are kind of head-to-head competitors. That Wraith flat top forehand 11 speed go-to driver right here, and the Delirium. We got this bush here keeping us honest. Okay, so the Defy flipped up, pushed. We are dealing with a little honest breeze today, you know, something keeping them respectable. Photon. This feels a lot better than the Defy. But this is a slot for me that has to be consistent because it's a very highly used shot. Yeah, see, that one just comes out of the hand better. It feels so much like an FAF Firebird if it was just an 11 speed. If you guys saw Clint's latest video, just kind of breaking down my tech disc, not even breaking it down, just simply showcasing the tech disc stats. My forehand was coming in at 73 miles an hour at the top with 1,028 RPMs, which is kind of nuts. So something like the energy, although unusable for some, let's be real, could be usable for me. Okay, I mean, holy shit, it came out and launched right. Horrible throw, but I mean, that's what I want it for. I torqued the hell out of it. The distance driver, like pushy distance slot, the octane and the Delirium. I'm assuming this Delirium is gonna have a little stability on the octane, but I know the flat octane is gonna be much more stable than the domey one I've been throwing backhand. Oh, that's really nice. See, the octane is the Delirium is a weird one for me. Mid-flight Delirium, it looks like it's gonna go an absolute mile. Comes out so fast, it flips up, but then very quickly, it just dumps and doesn't really get the distance that I think it looks like it's gonna get right after you release it. You need a good disc to get that consistent 400 plus forehand. And with these MVP drivers, it's tricky. See, the octane gets a much better push. Wow, I really like that. So when it comes to forehanding drivers, hand feel is everything for me. I love the Boss, the Destroyer, the Wraith, which all basically feel like the exact same disc, just one speed, you know, 11, 12, 13. And I just trust those discs so much. And I think one of the hardest things with MVP is the hand feel on all of their high-speed drivers. Plain and simple, they do not feel good. If you bag all MVP, comment down below your thoughts on the driver lineup. It's such a debated topic because I think everyone can kind of agree we wish they were better, But a lot of players out there choose to bag only MVP, even though they're not sponsored, they're not getting paid, they're not even getting free product, they just love the brand. But potentially they're taking a hit in the distance driver department. So if that's you, no hate against it. I just want to know your reasoning for why you do choose when you have no obligation to bag MVP drivers. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We got a 360 footer here, basket right out there. This course kind of fits well for like not max distance driver work. The next hole does though, fortunately. So we'll really get to throw some bombs. Absolute smacker of a hyzer push. I need to dial this in because just based on confidence in the hand feel, I know this is going to be a good one for me. Yeah. See, that's a smack. To follow the 11-speed train, we got the 11-speed wave. 11.5 negative 2.52, a fission one. You might have saw one appearance from this, I think, in the Tall Firs video, and it flew great, but I know this is a full flight guy. We're gonna try and hit it on pretty steep hyzer and see what we can get out of it here. Little more like stability than I was expecting. Out of the hand, I thought I might roll that into the lake, and I didn't give it enough height to really get a full flight there, but I was pleasantly surprised. Let's smack this thing. Ooh. I don't know, that was kind of a smack too. Obviously we can bag the Octane as a 13, and then we have the 11. There's not gonna be a 12-speed time lapse in the bag. Let's throw this one on a backhand. Hopefully it's nice and stable. I wouldn't mind going like wave, trace, Octane, Octane, keep it simple, and then obviously have like the energy for some beefcake. Oof. I mean, that's nice. Nice and stable too. I feel like these are all landing maybe 30 feet past the basket right at about 390. Now here's the real test, because the wave, although I liked what I saw, might just get replaced with this. 10 speed obviously, but my arm, 10 and 11 speeds do pretty much all I need in terms of distance. So if this is a more consistent, little higher quality plastic, less beat up, 173 gram trail. Oof. See you later. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, sorry wave, gonzo. Man, inertia. Now everybody's been saying, Brad, you gotta try the Insanity. But for me, I think the inertia fits my arm speed a little more, whereas the Insanity is gonna be a little too flippy. I've thrown the Insanity a couple times. Great disc, but this one feels much better in the forehand as well. So let's see what we can do on this. Gosh, that is a nice disc. Wow. The energy, either we absolutely smack this on a side hand flexor, or it's probably gonna go right into the middle of this pond and I'll never see it again. Pretty solid, but I don't think I'm getting any more than 350 feet, which makes me basically think maybe I don't need that because I got a fireball, which is gonna feel better, probably be more consistent, and go the same distance. Yeah, see, I'm horrible at throwing flex forehands also, and that fireball just went way past the energy. Sorry, energy, I thought I'd need you. The Delirium's a weird one because it's almost a disc that I like kind of want to replace because it's a 14.5, but I've thrown some nice lines with this. Oh. See how stable that gets though? That's so weird. I mean, the distance was decent, but I feel like the way that flips up mid-flight, it should go so far, and it's just beef. The Defy. Okay, now that's pretty nice actually. The first couple times I threw the Defy, in my head I thought it was gonna be not flippy, but really get some flip up and turn, and it doesn't. And now that I kind of trust it a little more, I feel like I can really smack it and it's solid. But then obviously we got the Photon, its main competitor, which feels better in the hand. Oh, and it flies better too, guys. Go in the hole. Oh my gosh. Well, now that we've been on this hole for like 20 minutes, let's go pick those up. Head to the last hole. Give these an absolute smack. Guys, a couple videos coming this week. We're gonna be comparing my brand new Broadbirds, available Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, powergripusa.com. Broderick Power Grip Collab Series, flat top star Firebirds. They came out beautiful. Those will be available. I think they're like $19.99. Use my code Broderick10, saves you another $1 and directly kicks back to me as well. So excited for those. But we're gonna be comparing those to the Fireball and the Motion, you know, the MVP Firebirds, basically. And then up next on the agenda after that is gonna be a little buzz assess battle style, but it's gonna be between the Hex and my favorite, the Echo. The Echo, absolute beauty, super sick stamp. Got this from Easy3 down in Everett. Shout out, and I'm excited for that because that's the style of disc that I love. Just picked all those up, and the trail and the trace, exactly as I suspected and hoped. The trace went probably about 50 feet further than all the other discs on, you know, a nice like flip up hyzer, just pusher. The trail literally went like 150 feet further. Like I think it almost went 500 feet. It does get to be downhill once you pass the basket, but like literally the furthest throw I've had with an MVP disc by like 100 feet. We're gonna smack them again here real quick, full flight. I think the trail and the trace might be the ticket to consistency and good distance. Gonna smack 4 drivers for you here. Both of the Octanes, domey, a little flippier, flat, a little more stable, and then the trace and the trail. This right here potentially is just my driver lineup, distance driver lineup, because I feel like in terms of consistency, this is where I'm gonna get it. Oof. Yeah, that's a smack. See, I think the Octane I like enough, and then this flat one on some forehands can come in really useful to where I think that's gonna be better for me than any of the 14.5 speeds. The 13, although big, not my favorite, it's doable. And this disc, I think as I trust it a little bit more, it'll be nice. Oof. Not the best throw there even, like didn't get much flight out of it, but consistent, stable, and it feels decent in the hand. Just a nice smacker. We're gonna try and hit a little left to right drag on it. Oof. Yeah. Super consistent flight. I feel like the trace as it beats in is gonna get extra glide and kind of push a little bit more. I don't necessarily think it has crazy distance capabilities right now, but in terms of consistency and hand feel, it's a winner for me. Ooh, yeah, see ya. Holy shit. Wow. That is the only MVP disc that I'm actually getting a full flight out of right now. Gonna give you a quick little rundown through the bag, what I'm bagging right now going into later this week, where we're gonna be filming some real rounds of disc golf once again. Hopefully actually knowing what this bag does. The drivers, we got the Inertia, the Photon, we got the Volt for kind of our stable fairway. Now that I think of it, the Volt and the Ronin might kind of overlap. I don't know, we'll have to see. We'll have to check those out. We got the 2 Octanes, we got the Trail, the Trace, absolute beauties. Right now, I think the Wrath is taking the spot of the Tesla. For now, we'll see, we'll see. Obviously, Resistor's back in the bag, a little more stable than the one I was jamming on, which could change things up a bit. We got a Crave, a Fireball, the Delirium. We got a couple hexes, Pyro, or no, 1 hex, Pyro, Matrix, and new to the bag, the Detour. Little secret, I love the Detour. I already knew I liked this disc. I've thrown it plenty of times, so super happy to have this one in some new putters. video coming soon. And then throwing putters haven't really changed, but we got the Pixel in there right now as well. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying this series. If you haven't subscribed, guys, there's still about half of you watching the videos that have not subscribed. And I know if you're here right now, you had to have enjoyed it, because not many people are gonna wait till the end of a fieldwork video, basically. You know, we're trying to get to 10K. Thank you guys, appreciate you. Thanks for watching. See you next.
Creator of Frisbee Club, motherfuckers.
The man, the myth.
And right here, I have a frisbee bag. It holds all my frisbees, the ones I like.